Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan. So, as we've been seeing here, as veganism gets more and more popular, there's more and more pushback from the mainstream media and from doctors and those in the medical field in general. Well, WebMD, you guys got to take some kudos here because you brought those two worlds together on this attack piece on veganism, discussing the downsides of vegan and vegetarian diets. So right here, WebMD quotes Harvard medical doctor and professor of nutrition, Dr. Sun, and he says, "For generally healthy people, I don't see any reason that eating a vegetarian diet is risky to health." I'll show you in a few minutes that Dr. Sun doesn't even really mean that because he goes on to describe all these health risks for anyone giving up meat in their diet, healthy or sick. Anyway, let's get down to what he's saying here. Let's take him at his word here that if you're healthy, you can pretty much safely take on a vegan diet. But if you're not healthy, if you have chronic disease, if you're sick, the risks of a vegan diet are too high. Well, that's just complete nonsense, not based on any medical information and any science that I know of whatsoever. In fact, the opposite is true. The very non-vegan influenced American Medical Association, based on scientific evidence, has come out with a recommendation that immediately that all hospitals and medical institutions should start serving plant-based meals, meat-free, dairy, egg-free meals to all of their patients and staff immediately, and likewise start removing all the animal products from their meals. And this is for sick people. And Dr. Sun's recommendation of vegan diets being appropriate only for those who are really healthy, again, is totally blown out of the water by what happens when you give the most heart unhealthy people vegan diets, those who had severe heart disease. Only vegan diets can reopen their arteries back up again. So again, it makes no sense to say, oh, only really healthy people can handle the risks of vegan diets. No, in fact, even the world's most unhealthy people would be greatly benefited from eating meat-free. They say Dr. Sun's research strongly suggests that the quality of plant-based food matters when it comes to health benefits. As in vegetables, yes, French fries, no. I mean, you've got to be kidding here, really. You actually had to conduct scientific research at Harvard to figure out that you're probably not going to be as healthy as you could be if you're vegan eating French fries compared to eating like fruits and vegetables and nuts and legumes. Really, I mean, and are you saying this only applies to vegans? If you eat meat, you can eat a bunch of French fries and you're cool. I mean, this is just a silly thing to say. No, duh. Already the article's off to a really bad start, but it gets even worse once they start talking about the topic of hair loss. All right, guys, just hold on. You know, we're used to seeing all these crazy things said about vegan diets, so you kind of figure where they might be going here. They're saying it's all about protein deficiency. Not only does protein deficiency cause hair loss, what they're saying here, but protein deficiency is a common shortcoming of plant-based diets. Here they quote a Dr. Nandy, and she says that protein deficiency can be a hazard for vegans and vegetarians, but especially for us vegans. It's a hazard. She says, in real life, I have not had anyone complain about hair loss on a vegetarian diet. It has to be a protein deficiency going on for a while to lead to hair loss. I mean, this is just complete nonsense and lies. I would give anything to sit down with Dr. Nandy and ask her, as a medical doctor, has she ever encountered one single patient in her entire career that was deficient in protein, vegan or otherwise? And I'm sure she's going to have to say no, because outside of starvation, there's no such thing as protein deficiency. This whole thing about vegans and vegetarians don't get enough protein is just a myth, and it's been debunked time after time for decades that it's absolutely silly that this myth continues on in 2018 and is being perpetuated by medical doctors. Back to Dr. Sun from Harvard, here he is now saying that if you're not eating dead animals, you're at risk of iron deficiency. And this is just complete nonsense. As I've shown time and time again on this channel, most of the top iron-containing foods are plants. So not only that, it's better for you.
If you just look at iron intake from meat, It's associated with significantly higher risk for heart disease. The intake of meat iron, but not plant iron, was associated with increased risk of stroke as well as diabetes. Higher animal iron intake significantly associated with greater risk of type 2 diabetes, but not total or plant iron.
And perhaps one of the most depressing things that Dr. Sun says here is that according to his research, you can still get great benefits by just eating lots of plants, but not totally giving up all the animal products, all the meat and dairy, as far as your heart health and diabetes go. I mean, again, I want Dr. Sun to truthfully, honestly answer this question here. Is there any diet he knows of other than a vegan diet, a whole food, low fat, no oil, plant-based diet that can open arteries back up again that were once previously nearly closed from heart disease? Yet he's telling his patients, no, don't worry, you can still have animal products, just eat some vegetables and plants too. Well, that's not what the science shows. That's not what Dr. Esselstyn's study shows. Whole food, plant-based, low-fat diet is the best diet for heart health. Why give your patients some kind of third-rate advice that could kill them, Dr. Sun? And for diabetes, studies clearly show that those who eat no meat, vegans, have the lowest rates of type 2 diabetes. And similarly, these vegans actually have healthy BMIs, the only group that's not overweight or obese. I mean, it's articles like this that really piss me off. First of all, it scares people away from being vegan by presenting just outrageous lies, like we're deficient in protein. It's very common, it's a common hazard, and we're going to lose our hair, and deficient in zinc. And, who's going to want to go vegan knowing that there's all these risks? Well, the risks are you're probably going to die if you have heart disease and diabetes and keep following advice like theirs, which says keep eating the animal products, the carcinogens that the World Health Organization has said cause cancer. Keep eating them because that's what these doctors here are saying to do. You really should be listening to the vegan doctors. So I urge anyone who has family or friends or themselves personally been diagnosed with heart disease, look at the works of Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Preventing and Reversing Heart Disease. If you have diabetes, check out Dr. Neil Bernard's books. So just go beyond what you're seeing here on WebMD. So post your questions and comments down below. Why do I need to be continually debunking all these doctors and medical professionals who should know better? Why are they blissfully unaware, or at least not willing to discuss the leading causes of death, and that they're caused by eating animal products, and that eating plant-based diets, vegan diets, actually prevent and reverse most of those leading causes of death? Why is that the greatest secret being kept from humankind? I just don't freaking get it. It's so frustrating. So leave your thoughts about that down below. So until next time, guys, let's all keep it carb, baby. Keep it carb.